What's up, everyone? My name is Chris and Fanzon. You are listening to the Hidden Doors podcast. Upcoming is my conversation with Mazen. Mazen is a business leader. This dude does it all, man. He runs a marathon, an ultra marathon every weekend. I asked him if he does it every single weekend. He does it every weekend. Also, every day, he's also trying to learn something new. His goal is to make I think 350 certifications in the year. That's like a certification every day. So he's a business leader. He's trying to learn a lot. He does a lot of things. I think he has a world record also in number of ultra marathons run uh, throughout the world within a week or something. So give you a taste of what he's all about, but you will see and hear more about him coming up. So I hope you enjoy the conversation. If you do, give me a thumbs up on this video, subscribe to my channel. If you haven't done so already, hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date on more videos, podcasts coming down like this. I hope you enjoy.
So is it at your home or
This is my basement.
basement?
It's
Okay.
my basement. So I had the mic, the camera on top of my laptop, and every time I would touch the table, the thing would shake. So I got if I got the whole setup here. Got you on the TV. I have
Okay.
the camera station right in front of the TV. I got this whole thing ready to go, baby.
Great. Very good.
So how do I pronounce your name? Mazen?
Mazen.
Mazen.
Yeah.
How is it going? What time is it? It's like 5 p.m. by you?
5 p.m. Yeah, thanks for adapting the time. So it's 5 p.m. and I told you I'm doing tomorrow the ultra marathon 60 kilometer.
Yeah, you do a lot of those, don't you? Weren't you
Yeah,
every time I talk to you, like the weekend, you're doing a
every weekend.
marathon every weekend?
Every weekend, yeah.
Man, that's a lot. How long have you been
Yeah.
doing that for?
9 years.
9, be honest with me.
Yeah.
On average per year, how many weekends? Is it like 90% of your weekends? Like, are half of your
100,
weekends 100?
100% of my every weekend. Of course, COVID, no, but I don't know if I can show you. I have here more than 500 medals on the wall. So it's like, yeah, every weekend.
That is a little nuts. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's crazy. That's
Yeah.
that's impressive. So, but here
Thank
that
you.
leads me into this. That leads me into the introduction of you, though, because I'm going to let you introduce yourself. But
Sure.
I'm looking on your LinkedIn, and I see you do it's a very long description of what you do, and one in particular I want to talk about first. But let's go through all of them. You're the global head of digital marketing. You're a
Yeah.
data expert, leader. You're an advisor, awards judge, a speaker, board
Yeah.
member,
Yeah.
IABX member, athlete. This is the one that's really interesting to me. Guinness World Record holder and a
Yeah.
crypto and NFT enthusiast. You do a lot of stuff. So tell me,
Yeah.
what would be your quick introduction? Because it doesn't seem it can be quick. You do so many damn things. You're a very interesting
Uh,
person.
yeah, I think I am. I do a lot of things. I'm all over the place. So, like in a week, I do maybe one podcast, one panel, one judging award. I'm also sponsored by ASICS. So I went to Turkey last week, if you remember, sponsored by ASICS to run Antalya Marathon. And I just keep myself super busy. I'm also advisory board for Insider, BSI, Zeotap. So I do advisory board. I do consultancy for a couple of clients. I'm in 3 different IABs and WFA. And I do have my own agency and I work full-time job as well.
You have your own agency?
Yeah, yeah,
Got it. So there's a lot to talk about here, but let's first. What
yeah,
do you hold as far as a Guinness World Record
yeah,
holder? What is that marathons ran?
yeah. I have run 7 marathons on 7 continents in 7 days. with my brother. So 777.
And no one has done that before, but you.
We were a group. There are maybe 100 people who have done that, but we were the fastest siblings to finish 777.
You and your brother were the fastest, is what you're saying?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that is
There are not many people who have, maybe 100 people, even less, who attempted it. Uh, yeah, around 100. But the thing that you start running from Australia to US to Chile to Antarctica, and then you only run and fly. So it's mostly no hotel, no shower, just running and flying.
that's crazy, dude. I think the most I've ran so far is like 4 or 5 miles in my on my street. So
Yeah,
you're motivating me a little bit to
that,
pick it up a notch.
that's good. That's good.
What why like what gives you the energy to do all this? Like what are you doing it for? Like that's it's just a it's like it seems like superhuman level type of stuff. Like what gives you the energy to do all this stuff?
I don't know. I just like to keep going, to keep on exploring new things. I have done the North Pole, South Pole. I did a marathon on Everest. I did the Jungle Ultra Marathon, 250 kilometer in 5 days. I do the 60, 100 kilometer every weekend. I just have a lot of motivation and energy, so I just put it somewhere.
But that's
And
running. That's just like exercising and running. But you also, I think, like almost every week or day, I see that you're getting a new certification on LinkedIn or
yeah,
something.
yeah.
And so you have many things like, yeah, when do you stop? Like when would you say, hey, you know what? I'm done. Like, are you ever going to stop? Or are you going to be like 70
No,
years
no,
old still
no,
doing this?
no, no. I don't think I can stop. I mean, knowledge is key. You always learn new things, right? Either by meeting people or hearing podcasts, or podcasts for me. I listen to podcasts every day. And the same for running. I will only stop when I cannot run anymore.
Got it. So that'll be
Yeah,
never. You'll always be able to run.
I hope so. I hope so.
All right. So what is taking up the most of like your day? Like do you have like a main day job that you do?
Yeah, yeah. I do work from 9 to 5.
You do. Is that
Yeah.
your agency that you run or do you work for
No,
an
I work
agency?
for Borzo Delivery. I'm leading the global performance marketing team. So I'm leading the in-house marketing team. I'm responsible of 10 markets. So I have a normal job as anyone else.
Got it. Normal
Plus the
job.
other, yeah, yeah. Plus all the other stuff.
Well, I mean, it's a normal job, but it's also you're global head of digital, so it's a impressive
Yeah,
title to have.
yeah.
Uh how long did it take you to get to that role?
Uh, couple of, I mean, now I have been working in digital for 14 years, but I think the last 6 years have been really, they changed my life. So I moved from Dubai in 2016 to Amsterdam. I took first a global digital programmatic manager role, and then quickly I had opportunities to really grow and learn and take more. And then slowly I was able to take more responsibilities and grow. But I was really only working and doing sports. So I lived here alone for 2 years, then got married. Then really all my time was spent on work and work and work. The first 4 years, I was only traveling to all the 30 markets. So going from one market to another, doing a lot of projects, implementation, building teams, capabilities. um, Only COVID came, and then I stopped traveling, and then that's when I noticed that I was doing a lot. It's time to take a step back and look into what I can do elsewhere, or broaden my horizon into more networking or network events, or more sharing, or whatever other stuff. But yeah, it took a lot of efforts and dedication and commitment.
Were you in the industry that you're in now? You're actually in a very similar industry
Similar.
as me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, but you were said you were in it for 14 years. So you were working in this industry in Dubai?
Yeah, Lebanon before. So I started from Lebanon
Oh, okay.
in 2009, 8. I used to be a ERP consultant for Microsoft, then moved to Starcom Publicis in Lebanon. Then I moved to Dubai. Then in Dubai, I took a project to go to Singapore for a while, then back to Dubai, and then here.
Got it.
So I have been moving around.
Do you think that do you think that you have this either the same drive that you have when it comes to running marathons and all the
Y-
crazy stuff that you do? Do you apply that to your work, like your day to
Yeah,
day
yeah,
work?
definitely. I had a interview like 2 weeks ago. They were asking me like, how do you link between your athlete and professional life? It's the same mindset. So you just apply what you want to do in marathons, and then I do 40, then I do 50, 60 kilometer, 100 kilometer. I always try to really make it harder on myself, and that's what I do in work as well. So when I finish a project, I jump to the next. I take something harder, bigger, more global. It's the same mindset where you need to keep on going, start what you finish, be accountable, responsible, dedicate yourself, commit. It's the same when you run a marathon. You have to finish. I mean, I never so far been disqualified or did not finish.
Do you set goals to do you have a goal setting process where every year or so you set goals? Because sometimes when people get successful to a certain point, they get really comfortable and then you just I don't know, you maybe hit a ceiling of I'm comfortable and I don't need to I don't need to go hard anymore. But someone with your energy level, it just seems like every year there's another checkpoint or target you'd have to aim for. Did you always set goals, and do you set goals now? Like, what is your
Of
goal setting
course.
process?
Yeah, yeah, I do both. For my running, setting goals. So for example, I want to do Marathon des Sables next week in the desert in Morocco. I'm doing 1,000 miles in 2024 across UK. So I always step up. So I did 70 marathons so far. I want to get to 100. And the same for work. Like you see my LinkedIn learnings, I said I want to do 356 courses minimum, small courses, half an hour a day this year, and I have been already done 70 in 2 months. I said I want to finish, for example, I don't know, do a keynote speech. I want to teach students. I want to do more podcasts. I want to do more things. On top of also, I want to be promoted, of course, and get raised. So I always set goals. I want to do more. I want to get more. I can, right? I mean, if you put more time into it, and maybe you fail once or twice, I failed, and then you learn, and then you continue.
Were you always like this?
No,
Was there a
no.
point in your time, point in your life where, like in my life, for example, I was maybe 23 or something, and I read a book called Think and Grow Rich. I talk about it all the time, and it was at that point where I was like, oh, I need to be focused on what I want to accomplish. I need to set goals. I need to put time into what I want to achieve. I need to be focused on a target. I can't just otherwise you're just withering and you're not really but it seems like you're doing this a lot. Like, was there a point in your life where this hit you and you were like, I need to do this? Like, was there a impetus in your life that changed it?
Yeah, I think that hit me when I finished university. So I wasn't a top student. I hated studying, which it's opposite to where I am today. But I wasn't also at school. Like I wasn't in the top. Never. I failed one class. It's just when I finished university, I said it's hard to get a job in Lebanon. We need to do things to be outstanding, to be able to get opportunities. And that was where I said, I need to really focus more, put my time into things that really will make me more successful. And then I wanted to go to Dubai. So I focused on how can I get a job in Dubai. So I started to do more and more and just educate myself. And that's kept on going. So then in Dubai, I want to go to Europe. And now I want to go somewhere. So always, I think one step ahead, not like about tomorrow, but I think about a year, 2 years, 5 years. What do I need to do today? So in 5 years, I'm ready to be that person I want to be. And that's where I focus. So I always say to myself, be ready for any opportunity that comes your way and don't wait for it to come and be ready. That's always how I work. Um,
Are
but
you
yeah.
ever Are you ever afraid of becoming obsolete? Like in the back of my head, I always have a fear because the world changes so quickly. Whether it's like globalization has shifted where jobs are, or automation has shifted what jobs are necessary when it comes to technology or human input.
Yeah,
Does that is that a thing that you think through a lot? Because I think about that a lot. I'm like,
I
I don't
don't.
have. You do or don't?
No, I don't. I don't.
Don't. Got it.
No.
That's something I constantly
Why?
think about. What?
Why? Why?
I just yeah, I just look at the past and I just see jobs change. So
Yeah.
my thinking is this. I'm not on the I value learning and talking to people and being better every day, whether that's 1% getting better, challenging myself. If I fall on my face and I look like an idiot, who cares? I'll try again tomorrow. Like I have that, I think, same mindset as you. You are like on Supercharge though, like 350 certifications in a year is a lot, even if they're mini, even if they're 5 minutes each. It's still fitting. You have to fit that time to do it, and to fit that time to do it while you have a family, while you work 9 to 5. I'm sure you don't work 9 to 5. I'm sure sometimes you work more than that, and you're running marathons on the weekend, so it's a lot. That is a lot. Um, but I guess my point is that I never want to fall behind the curve. I
Yeah.
always, if something were to shift majorly in our industry, and for some reason, like, you know what? In the United States, it's way too expensive to pay these people anymore. Why don't we just go to this country and they have plenty of people who can do the job better for half the price? And let's just say that we all get laid off and we have to go find another job. I want to have like I want to be sharp enough where I can step into any industry. You might not step in at the same level, but be sharp enough where you can communicate effectively, you can present, you can build relationships, you can sell, you can talk to people, you can learn. I want to always have that sharpness where I can, if anything were to go horribly wrong, I can always step into another industry. But if everything were to go right, then I'll just keep, growing in my own role. I don't know. I For some reason I just think like stuff can
Yeah.
happen and I get a little nervous about it.
I never thought of it, but you're right. I mean, sometimes the back of your head you think that, okay, what if I lose my job? Then am I ready to take something else or try something new? But I never thought of it. I don't know. It
Well,
might
you're
happen
you're doing
tomorrow.
everything you would need to do. So
Exactly. And worst case, my dream when I retired to do adventure races, like be a race director and take handful of runners and go somewhere remote, new, secret, and do some more races and just have fun, enjoy life. And that's what I want to do in like 20 years from now. So
I'm sure you
yeah,
can get people to pay you. Like if you said, "Hey guys, I've ran all these places around the world, and I am an expert when it comes to knowing where to go, what's safe, how to get there. You come along, I'll do a trip with you." I'm sure they pay you like a
yeah,
thousand dollars
maybe,
per person.
yeah, maybe,
That'd be a nice little business for you.
yeah. I think that that's my business for 20 years from now. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I like it. So moving up, becoming global head. What like skill sets that like maybe someone just getting into the job market right now, that you have refined over the past 10 to 15 years?
Yeah.
What are those like skill sets that you think would help anyone, grow in their career so they can get promoted and become in a position like you are?
That's a good question. I think in the first 5 6 years in your career, you focus more on skills where are more related to job. Like if you are doing digital or programmatic or marketing, then you are top in what you do, right? You focus only on the tech side, on getting the job done. If you're in the agency, then the client is happy or whatever. And then after 5 6 years, I think what I really try to shift in my mindset is to focus more on the soft skills, the human skills, and really focus more on culture changes, change of mindset, how to deal with different markets, different people, how to work with the local team, how to be able to be successful in a non-political way and be able to not manipulate but convince people to work with you. So it's really about learning to communicate, be transparent, be able to deliver the message and convince people about your mission on why you want to do a digital transformation or why you want to implement this project or do that. It's much more important than your technical skills in that stage of your life where you really want to go into more senior roles and be able to manage people differently, be able to be a leader, not a manager, delegate, support people, be more, have empathy. I think that's really important when you now I have 8 people in my team. When you have a big team, you really need to understand what they're going through and support them. And even when you work with different people as well, sometimes they might have a bad day or whatever situation they are going into. And now today, where I told you about my courses that I'm doing this year, it's only soft skills. It's only about leadership, communication, delegation, mindset, growth mindset. That's where I'm spending my time at the moment. I'm not doing any more programmatic or courses, technical courses. I'm stopping that and really shifting into where I can see myself in the upcoming few years and what I need to really change in myself.
Let me ask you this.
Sure. Yeah.
Um, it's weird because I don't know how other industries are, but I'm in a similar industry. I'm the same industry as you. Let's just say,
Same. Yeah.
and it just changes so quickly. Like it's weird because maybe other industries, maybe maybe I'm just like in a silo and I don't see other industries probably change just as quickly. It could be, but my experience is this industry changes very rapidly, and so like the people on the lower junior roles, people get the technical skills down. Then you get to build to be a leader, you get stronger soft skills. But sometimes there is a disconnection. Like the people who have grown up in the industry and they're there in the position they're in now, they haven't needed or used technical skills for like what, 10,
Yeah.
potentially 10 to 15 years or more, because the industry's changing so fast. So like, is that a is
But
that
that's
something as a leader like you think you should get back in touch with every once in a while, or do you think like, hey, look, I don't need to know this stuff anymore. I have my team I rely on that knows the technical stuff. They need me more as a leader, less as a technical person, more as a leader with the soft skills. But do you still say, hey, I still want to every once in a while get back into the technical things? Like it's a balance I think you have to
yeah.
play, but I don't know the right balance. I'm not as high as you in a corporate in a corporate ladder. So I don't know. I'm like in the middle where I sort of have to be very good with both.
I do both. So I definitely do both. So and in the last 2 years and during COVID, I did maybe like 50 courses on. I did all the Google again, all the Facebook, I did everything again, like all the tech courses, and I do now a lot of. I help my team in auditing the campaigns, launching strategy. I think if you really need to be successful more in what you do, then also you need to be a role model. So it's not only about the soft skills, but also about thinking with your team on how can I make this strategy better. So really, you need to know more about the technologies as well to be able to support them. And that's the difference between what you said when someone didn't work for 10, 15 years, and then when you go and ask him, okay, how can I do this? At least from a strategy, you don't need to know each and every detail. And then when they don't have the answer, and I had that in my career. So I had that in my previous role where my manager never touched any of this, and then they don't know, and that's where I go to them. Then I ask, they have no answer. Then for me, why are you there if you never have an answer for me? So it's a balance. You said it. It's always a balance. At least have the minimum. At least once every year, refresh your mind with a master course, with anything that it keeps you in the game. Because you said it also previously, it's evolving really fast. Yeah, there are always new things, and then if you just okay, I did that 5 years ago, and now I'm done. No, there's something new tomorrow, and then at least have the basic. I'm not saying that you need to have all the advanced knowledge, but at least cover the 101 to understand how things work, how you can really help your team and delegate and be a leader. So it's always a balance. um, and also it depends on your role. So my previous role, I was more strategic and more helping the team, but now I'm more hands-on, supporting the team day to day as well.
Got it. That's a bigger change, right? Being hands on to not hands on. You,
Yeah, but I like both, and it's really about the station. What does the station need from you? And sometimes you really need to just help and do things on a day-to-day basis, and just make it happen. And sometimes not, but yeah, it's a big difference. I understand
well,
definitely.
I'm even saying it's a big difference because like it's great that you can do at the top and not have to do any of the day to day. But if you had to do the day to day and you could do it, that's a great thing because
Yeah,
when things are
that's a
going,
plus, right?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
when things are going well and you don't need to touch anything, it's beautiful. But like for example, 2 years ago
yeah.
when shit hit the fan and companies were getting potentially squeezed out and there was a lot of franticness and your team was understaffed and you had to do things and wear many hats. It's helpful for have that person who I'm not doing this, but who's taken 50 certifications a year.
Honestly, I do enjoy it, and I have no problem in doing both. I read a book about I forgot the exact title, but of Robin Sharma, the leader without a title, which it's really not about the titles. It's really about the work that you do and how much you enjoy it. And if you get the pleasure at the end of the day that you achieve something, that's the most rewarding for me personally. So it really doesn't matter what you do as long as you do it right and you enjoy it. And also, if your team is growing, and that's also something super rewarding that you see someone really growing into your role maybe in a few years, and then you can move somewhere else, and then that's also an achievement as a leader or manager.
Who like gave you inspiration for your leadership principle? Like for you, when if you have certain leadership principles and guidelines of what you think a good leader is, like who have you looked up to in the past who have given you those types of things?
Um, in the past, from my career, none. Unfortunately, I didn't have any mentor so
Family,
far.
friends, teachers, professors,
No,
anyone?
no,
Just
no,
you?
no. Just no, not me, not me. I go online. I go to. I read books. I check Simon Sinek. I check Robin Sharma, Tim Ferriss. I don't know. I check online a lot of leaders. I see what I read about them, what they do. I watch podcast videos. So I learn about it from online, but I wasn't lucky enough to have a actual mentor in my life or teacher or family. Yeah, it just it happens.
Well, yeah. I think I happen to think the wealth of knowledge in books and in like it's like I think it's an underutilized
Yeah,
resource for people because like here's the thing. Me and you are never going to have the opportunity to meet some of these people in real life. One, because it's just not going to happen. And two, we probably won't meet them because we're only on this earth for a limited time. So like people who have done really smart things 500 years ago, you're never going to obviously it's impossible to meet them,
yeah,
but if they written a book, then you can learn from their ideas and how why they
exactly.
thought the way they did. So you could I tend to think there's the books that I've read. Like I like to read at least 3 books a month. I like to keep myself up to date. I like to learn new things, and I find the people that I read like they're mentors in a certain sense. They teach me things on how to think and how to lead, and it's so underutilized. I think in this society, I don't know, and I don't think it's underutilized because obviously people read a lot. But I'm just saying it should be like it should be more utilized than it is now.
More organized.
There's just too much damn beautiful information out there that
Yeah,
isn't. Why not know it? Like if you don't do that, then you're limited to the circle of influence and people you have
around
around
you.
you. And what is that? Like you're only a human being. Like who can you know at most? Like who do you interact with at most on a day to day? It's probably like 10 to 20 people
Colleague,
at most.
few
But
family members.
yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
it.
And they're all probably good people, but
Yeah,
it's a limited amount of knowledge, you know?
yeah,
So I think it's crazy. I think I think you're on the same page as me as like
of course. Yeah,
read and learn because there's
yeah.
beautiful books out there.
Definitely, and that's why I'm enjoying the LinkedIn learning a lot now, because I have saved like 500 books or courses, podcasts, and then in each course of them I hear personal experiences and personal stories, and that's where you can learn the most. You can learn from someone else's story, failure, success, and I'm like, I want more than that. Now I'm going to the gym. I put 2 hours cycling or cardio, and then I put 2 hours of listening to podcasts and audible for a book or whatever. And that's my eagerness, same as yours. Like, I want to know more, I want to hear more stories, I want to really get as much as I can. This food of knowledge, it's food for me, for my
Yeah.
mind.
You pay for the premium LinkedIn service.
Yeah, I do.
Is there do you think that's valuable? Like you think everyone should be doing that? Like what are the
um
benefits of that? Like I think you get free learning sessions. Is that
Yeah,
e-learning?
correct. Free learning. You can reach. You can send a lot of in emails, but I don't do that. And you can get some stats about your profile. But honestly, LinkedIn for me helped me a lot to get a lot of opportunities to network with people. It opened a lot of doors for me, like podcasts. Like, both of us we've met on LinkedIn, right? And
Yeah.
then I get a lot the same of podcast, keynote speeches. I'm going to Milano next week to teach a course in Politecnico. So I get a lot of opportunities, and I always say so. Whenever whoever send me a message, I say yes.
Yeah.
I hear what they have. I have a chat. If I don't like, I move it away. But I always reply and I accept. You never know what really might bring into your life.
And you think like you got more of that once you use the premium LinkedIn? Is that because people
Um,
can have you gotten more of that after you've done
you get
premium?
more stats, so you can get more statistics about your
More
profile, and you can get the learning part as well.
but
But
isn't
I'm a
it
heavy user
you know
of
how if you're
LinkedIn.
not connected, if you're not first or second connected, you can't message them, I don't think.
No, no.
But
If you are
with
not first, you cannot.
but if you have premium, can you message that person?
Yes, you can.
So that's a
You get
benefit that people can reach
Yeah.
out to you. Got it.
You get 10 in mail, and sometimes you get a lot of free in mail as well. It depends on the connection.
Got
So you
it.
can message those people.
Got it. All in
But
all,
I gained like 30,000 followers on LinkedIn alone.
30,000?
Yeah.
How?
Over time. I also have my own programmatic group at 12,000 members. So I post a lot, I engage a lot.
How do I join this programmatic group?
I will send you the link afterwards.
I need to be in this damn group, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's nice. How long did it take you to grow to 30,000?
Um, I started in 2015, 7 years, but I only spent the first 2 years really working hard on it. Then it becomes organic, like any business that you have. You push really hard the first 2 years. My LinkedIn group, the first 2 3 years, I was working hard on it. Now I don't do anything. I get every day like 40 50 requests to join, and I see people now posting a lot, 50 posts a day. I used to be the only one posting in the beginning. So yeah, it took 2 years, but it works alone now.
How many keynote speeches do you have this year?
Um, I'm doing one on Tuesday, and I'm doing two CMO summit in London the week after. And I got an opportunity to go to Milano to Politecnico to give a course for international master students as well for 2 days next week.
So
Uh,
on average, like per year, how many do you get of these? Like where you have to teach or speak on something? Like 20?
20 maybe, yeah. And I did 22 awards judging last year, and panels maybe 10. I don't know, a lot. At least two a month, three sometimes.
That's a lot. That is a lot. So you
Yeah,
travel a lot. Are you traveling a lot?
I do. Yeah, I travel a lot. Yeah.
Is that expensed by the company you're with?
Now I'm new job, but I used to travel a lot with my previous work, and I can combine it with other stuff.
I'm saying because
Uh,
imagine traveling 20 times in a year and like you have to play
but
for
most
pay.
of them virtual, right? Now a lot of them.
Oh, got it.
Yeah. So now in the last 2 years with COVID, everything has been virtual. Now they are again physical. So I'm going to London in March, April, May. But London is easy, like 45 minutes flight.
Got it. How do you feel giving those keynote speeches? When you first had to give them,
Uh,
a little nervous?
super nervous. My fir-
I would be
my
nervous.
my first even podcast with the Salesforce last year, I was super nervous. It was my first. I didn't know what to expect. I was sweating. I was nervous. 2 3 years ago, my first panel, my first keynote, I was sweating. I was really super nervous, to be honest.
Yeah,
But now I'm getting used to it. I feel much more comfortable, more self confidence. I used to prepare for 3 days. Now I prepare for 1 hour. Uh, you just build knowledge and experience on the go. But yeah, I admit I used to be not to like it first.
it's good because that's an extremely uncomfortable experience,
Yeah,
and you'd said, "Screw it, I got to do it."
yeah.
Most
At first I was saying no, no, no for a year or maybe a bit more. I was rejecting anything that come my way, and at the end I said, this is a fear that I have to overcome. I have to really work on myself and do it. I did a lot of. I read maybe 10 books about public speaking. I watched many courses, TEDx, YouTube, just to learn more and be able to be better.
what um what are some good books that you read for public speaking?
I will send you a list. I have it saved, so I have a couple of good books I can
Got it.
share. It.
Do you know who
Yeah.
Jerry Weissman is?
No. No.
Got it. I was very bad at presenting when I was
Yeah.
younger, and I think it was a combination of me just being young and not like, I don't know. I felt nervous, really nervous, and
But that's normal.
yeah, well, it was, but I was also not good at it, which I think made it me more nervous, and
Yeah.
I wasn't confident in myself. And look, if I had to go give a keynote speech, I think who knows? I never done one, so yeah,
Okay.
I'd be nervous as freaking hell. I'm sure I would. But Jerry Weissman has a few books out that really helped me
I will check them
give a
out.
presentation, and like it helped. It helped because I feel like I learned the science a little bit behind presenting, more of the science. So like I was like, oh, it's not just a matter of like I'm innately bad or good at presenting. It was like there are certain skill sets that you need to give a good presentation, and once you know them, it helps lower the nervousness a little bit. When you go into a presentation, you're fully prepared and you know the science. Like this is good, regardless of the reactions. I put in a lot of work, and this is like really a good job because I think it's going to really help do whatever I need to do. And and then you feel better. You feel less nervous when you go in there. And
Correct.
yeah, and a lot of the tips. I feel like the biggest takeaway from Jerry Weissman's stuff is like um, a lot of the tips that he gives is mainly to like when you're in that damn room presenting to people and their heads are going like this, like you're okay, you're doing all right, and you feel good.
Yeah.
But when like you're making it, when the tips he gives you, because the tips he gives you makes it easy to people to understand, easy for it to influence, it eases people up. But when people are like, when your presentation is disorganized and it's not using like charts that make sense and things are confusing and people are like,
Huh?
and you're in the moment and you see 10 people do this, you get nervous as hell.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it snowballs. So a lot of the
Yeah.
things as science that has helped make it easier for people to understand what you're saying. It makes it easier to influence people, makes you more comfortable. And that's what helped me. So I'd love to see the books that you read because I'd like to take a
Yeah,
look at them.
I will check him out as well. I will send you a couple of books. So what I did is I went to Audible, I searched public speaking, I added all of them, and I just really read most of them, listened to them, and on also LinkedIn Learning, I learned a lot in the last few weeks about Keynote specifically. I learned a couple of tips where I used it on my. I prepared for the Tuesday Singapore Marketing 4.0, the keynote, and I'm going to use facts in the beginning, 3 facts, just to really make it more interactive and more interesting. So I'm using that for the first time, see how it goes. But yeah, whatever I learn, I try to apply in the next thing that I'm going to do. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Do you like I feel like when you like right now how we're talking, we're just like it's like a informal, but it's like a comfortable conversation. But then when you have to give
yeah,
like a keynote speech, I feel like you have to be like this industry is moving
Uh,
forward. Like, but I
yeah.
feel like I wouldn't want to do that, but people do
I
it.
don't do that.
You're more comfortable in it.
I'm myself. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm myself. I don't know how I am. I will watch myself on Tuesday, but I'm more relaxed. So the first 2 minutes are always the hardest, the first minute. But then when you start to the topic, I start speaking, and then it moves really smooth. But no, I don't do. It's just you can just be yourself. I mean
Yeah.
that's it. And I'm
Yeah.
always smiling, and then that's my character. It's different. I don't know.
Um, you started an agency, you said.
Yeah, a small boutique agency a
Is
couple
that
of years
still
ago.
operating?
Yeah. So with my partner, we mainly work for clients in Dubai and Saudi because that's where we are from. So we have a couple of clients that we work for at the moment. Yes.
Um, you how do you do that? Like, how is the experience starting that up? Like, you have to get a client. One, two, you have to find the time for that. Like, how do you start that up?
Yeah. So the client. So we started by having a client first, and then we were lucky we had a big client we started with, and then we never did any marketing campaign at all in the last few years. It was only a word of mouth, and then one client was happy. So we only work with the startups. So one investor is happy, he tells his partner, and then another partner, and another friend from friend, and that's how we were able to grow to have like 10 clients at the same time at a specific period. But they're all startups, and then our mission was to really help startups because we are a startup achieve their goals. We are fully transparent, agile, and how we find job. I think with everything remote, you can work in the evening. You can work. I'm early bird, so I wake up at 4 5 a.m. You can always squeeze time to launch campaigns, optimize, activate, do reports.
And you're doing the work, right? Are you hiring people to do the work, or you are doing the?
I do it. We
Yeah,
are 3 people now, but yeah, you asked me why also I keep myself educated on the how and tech because I do it as well in my other
that's what I was
job.
gonna say. It's like if you are doing the day to day stuff too.
Yes,
Interesting. That must be a
I
lot of
do.
work, though.
Yeah, but I also enjoy it. It's good to grow as well. And
Yeah,
then if we grow the business to a certain level, then we can hire more people. You
yeah,
have to in a startup. You have to do everything: the finance, the operation, the client servicing, the everything. You have to do it.
yeah. I think the hardest part is getting that first client to trust you
Yeah,
because you've
yeah.
worked for this company before, you've had all these resources, but you're starting your own thing. Why should this person come in your little boutique agency? It's like a hard sell.
Networking,
Networking. Yeah. But
networking.
even then it's hard.
Yeah, but networking is one of the skills or values that are way underestimated. Networking for me is one of the most important. It really helps a lot to really build the right partnerships and friendships and networking. Any type could be. And also what I also think important, what I learned in my global role, that you come back and you work with the same people. This world that we live in is super small. I moved from Dubai to Amsterdam, and then I ended up working with many people which were my colleagues in Dubai. They moved to Google, Facebook, TikTok, whatever, and then I built partnership with them as well. So it's really small. We keep on touring around, and yeah, I believe networking is one of the most important yeah values or characteristics or whatever it is you want to call it. But yeah, that's the key.
What's your ice? You got an icebreaker when you're networking? Do you have a little icebreaker tips for anyone who's afraid of networking?
Afraid? No, I mean just be yourself. I know some people might be afraid of it, but just have a drink and go network.
Yeah. What with all the stuff you're doing and the world being chaotic, uh, do you ever at times get stressed? And how do you? how do you keep basically how do you keep your mental sanity? How do you stop yourself from getting stressed?
Yeah. Stress is normal. Stress is normal, especially with COVID. It became much more stressful because we're living in a different environment and world. Um, I use walking and running to free myself and be able to put myself in different zone and find solutions and really remove that stress. But yeah, sometimes it happens to I'm a human, and then some days or weeks I say I'm not going to do studying, I'm not going to read, I'm not going to do anything, even no sports, and then I just want to relax and watch TV and eat and do nothing. um,
You need that sometimes, right?
yeah, of course, I love food, but yeah, you just and sometimes you fail to work with the stress, so to deal with it, and you learn again, and you what used to make you stressful 2 years ago, now if it happens to you, you say, oh, I went through it already. I'm okay, I know how to deal with it today. And then that's how you grow with stress, and you try to manage yourself and live with it.
do you like
But
to
stress is normal.
do you like writing? Do you fan of writing?
No, I'm not.
Well, let me explain. It doesn't even have to be like journaling. Let's say you have something on your mind and you write out a big email to someone, and then after you write the email out, you like, oh yeah, I got all my thoughts on paper. I feel better. Like, is that something like does that exist? Do you like to explain details out in written word?
Yeah, I do like to explain myself and express myself and put the details in. But yeah, I do it in writing email or whatever, but not like let's take a paper and a pen. I'm going to do it now and explain myself or
Yeah.
put my thoughts on a paper. I don't do it for myself, but I do it for others to help others to understand me better or understand what I'm trying to say. Yes,
Sometimes when like I'm responding to an email, um, and I start writing it, I love writing. I don't like not crazy long emails, but I like to explain things because I like people to understand when I'm talking about why exactly, and then I also
why?
explain things in a structured way that they understand what I'm talking about. But sometimes my I'm not organized that way in my head until I write the email out. Like I have all these thoughts jumbled in for
Yeah.
some topics, and then once I like write that out in an email, next time I go to talk about it, I'm much more structured in my head, and I feel like it organizes my thoughts a little better. Um, so it helps that person, but it also helps me because now
Yeah.
I'm more structured in how I'm thinking. So I don't see. I'm everyone knows I like to write long emails, but I think it helps. I think it helps both people, me and the
Yeah,
recipient.
but you hope that the other person is willing to spend time reading that long
Yes,
email
I
and
yeah
going into the details of it, because a lot of people just really skip.
yeah. You have to keep the balance. If it's too long, then no one's gonna read it.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
true.
I don't mind. I like reading emails as long as they do justice to what they are trying to say, and then that will make me also understand the situation better, instead of just getting one line sentence email and that will really not explain anything. So I prefer a balance between both.
Yeah. Okay. What is your favorite book that you've ever read?
Start with why, right? You told me why, and I like the Simon Sinek books. I think Start with Why is really interesting book, and it also explains a lot of things that we do today in business as well. Everything should start with why, and
That's
I'm
the book
reading.
title. It's called
Yeah,
Start with
start,
Why.
start with why. Yes, yes. And we were talking today also in a management call, like it's important to really explain to people why we want to do this and bring them into the topic or make them really adopt it. And also I'm going next week, I told you to do the course. I'm starting with why I'm going to do this course and why I'm going to share what I'm going to share, and that will make the people understand what's going to happen today, or what are we going to talk about, why we're doing this. So
Got it.
it's a good book. Yeah, yeah.
And the author was Simon. You said.
Yeah, Simon Sinek, yeah.
Got it.
I will send you the details later.
So that would be one of your mentors, you would say.
Yes, yes, he
Nice.
is. He is.
Is he alive still?
Yes, yes. I
Well,
wanted. He was coming to Amsterdam in 2020. Then in April, and COVID hits, and I was going to go and watch him. He does a lot of public speaking events. He does tours as well in the U.S., everywhere in Europe. Uh,
got it.
I,
It would be
I
nice to
like
meet
him.
him. Imagine you meet him.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I read all his books.
Simon Cynic.
Simon Sinek, yeah,
Simon Sinek. Good. I gotta check him out.
yeah. I'm
Um,
sure you will like him. He's on LinkedIn as well, all over the place.
really? Okay.
Yeah,
When is your book coming out? You got a book coming out? I feel like you got to
me,
write something.
no, no,
No?
no.
What are you gonna do for the people though? You have 30,000 followers. I feel like you might start your own podcast. You might do your own YouTube channel. You might I feel like you want to do something like that. You already do stuff like this, like keynote speeches. You're spreading information. I feel like you may build something that is your own brand that you can give information out to people.
Yeah, you're right. So I'm not going to do YouTube or podcast, but what I'm planning to do with the group of friends, I want to start giving more courses on what I have learned. So that's what I'm going to start next week. But I want to do this more often. So I want to share my knowledge in a more structured way to help students who are going to enter this career, life, and they are lost in what they want to do. There are so many things. If you take us in our industry, 15 years ago, there was only one or two players. It was very simple. Now, if you check the industry, it's super complex, right? There's a lot of new things, technologies, evolving platforms. So that's where I want to put my energy, is really focus on helping students, others, people, giving courses, education, volunteering, really sharing that knowledge that I have, because I do think I have a lot of knowledge, and I want to put it in a more structured way.
Would you focus on the industry you're in now, or generally like how to be a professional as well? What would you
Both,
focus? Both.
both, yeah. How to step into this industry or into digital or professional. Like, I learned a lot, but also I failed. Both. I wanna make it more a personal experience. So it's not like about a course structure that someone did. I'm going to do. No, I'm going to build based on my experience, what I learned, what I failed, how I managed things. And I think I was lucky and grateful for it, that I was put an opportunity to be able to lead teams and be in a global role. It doesn't happen often, so I'm really grateful for that, and I learned a lot from it. And again, the biggest outcome is to be able to culturally work with 30 nationalities and cultures, and be able to manage between all of them and learn from them as well. All the different way of working, different way of talking, different email communication methods, different tone of voice. I don't know, a lot of things that you can learn from others as well.
Yeah, true that. All right. We're gonna round it out here. Whenever you come to New York, you gotta let me know.
Yeah,
We'll
I
we'll
just
grab a drink.
booked. Definitely, I'm going to Chicago for the marathon in October, but also I'm trying to get into New York Marathon in November. So if I'm
Nice.
lucky, I'm going to definitely reach out to you so we can meet up.
Yes, I would love to meet you in person. You're a very interesting
Likewise.
person. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Awesome. All right. I appreciate you coming on here.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Yes. Yes. It was a pleasure having you on here, and have a good rest of your day.
You
And
too.
I will put all of your LinkedIn information. I know you have a LinkedIn page. What is the LinkedIn page name so people know it?
I will send you all the information.
Got it. All right. Sounds good. I appreciate you coming on. Have a good rest of your day. I know it's
You too.
getting a little late, so you're going to go to sleep soon. I know you're an early riser, so you got to go to
I'm,
sleep.
I'm, I'm heading to the gym.
Oh, okay. All right. So
Yeah.
have a good workout. Take it
Yeah.
easy,
Thanks.
dude.
Super.
All right.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Bye.